treat men like men and treat women like women. The mistake that most of you do, yeah, you and everyone else, is treating people only according to the role that they play in your life. And I'm going to give an example of this. You find that you're only going to judge your parents for the entirety of your lifetime as nothing else but your parents. You're going to judge your friends throughout the entirety of your life as nothing else but your friends. Your spouse, you're only going to judge them by the role they play in your life, and that is your spouse. So that is the problem that I'm talking about. It's not really a problem per se, it's just as humans we tend to default to this method of approaching human interaction, yeah, but it is limiting, and that is what leads to the negative affiliations that come with human interaction with people who are close to us, yeah, things like trauma, things like the backstabbing, the betrayals, you know, and it also ensures that you kind of lack, it limits the capacity for the quality of the connection you'd have with the other person. So what are we doing here today? Today, I'm here to provide you an alternative. I'm here to provide you a better approach to human interaction. And I do this using a two-step method. Now, step number one, humanize everybody. Treat everyone as humans first. I need you to understand, before your mom and your dad were your parents, they're humans first. Before your friend is your friend, they're humans first. Before your spouse is your spouse, they're humans first. And this goes for every single person that you encounter, be it your co-workers, be it your kids, name them. All right? So it only makes sense that before you start viewing them from that lens, you should humanize them first. Treat them as humans first. I'm going to give an example of where humans go wrong on this, yeah? You find that if, say, someone who's close to you, say a parent or a spouse, does something wrong to you, and a stranger does a similar thing, something equally wrong to you, you're usually harsher to the person who's close to you. Why? Because in your eyes, in your head, you're judging them based on the position that they occupy in your life, based on the role that they play in your life. You've completely isolated and removed and dealt and discarded the human aspect of them. Yeah? You see them as nothing else but my wife, or my husband, or my dad, or my mom, nothing else. But with a stranger, the only interaction you have with this person is the realization that this this is a human. I don't know him, I don't know her, but this is just a human that I happen to meet. And you're going to judge them from the human lens. So you're going to try very much to rationalize what they did from the human perspective, yeah? But you're not going to accommodate the same favor to someone who's close to you. And what ends up happening is, number one, you're going to inherit a very deep trauma from that negative interaction, because at the end of the day, in your head, it's, oh, my wife did this to me, oh, my dad did this to me, oh, my friend did this to me. So the pain is going to be so much more exaggerated, yeah, compared to if you saw them as a human first and realized, okay, I'm dealing with a human who so happens to be my friend, I'm dealing with a human who so happens to be my parent or my partner, you know. And what that does, it exposes you to human nature. And what human nature does is it explains why humans do the things that they do. So it means for every interaction you're going to have with these people that are close to you, you're going to have a fallback logical explanation to why they did it. And you're not going to be judging everything from the emotional lens of, oh, my daddy did this to me, or oh, my mom did this to me. It's always going to be, my dad, who's a human, happened to do this to me. So what's the human perspective of this approach? Okay, that's when you start realizing your dad was also raised maybe probably in a traumatic household, and this trauma, he never recovered from it, healed from it, never healed from it, never, you know, reconciled it, and it ended up carrying into the relationship he now has with you. And the moment you understand that, it just kind of takes the pain away, you know, it kind of resolves everything. You now start seeing things from a different perspective. You can even start forgiving your dad, because you know the things they're doing is not out of the mistake that they did. It's just an inherited trauma that he never paid attention to. Not because he was ignorant or anything, maybe because it was too painful for him to face it alone. Yeah? And the thing that happens is now the things that, or the negative interaction that you've had maybe with him, it's gonna make sense out of everything, and you're going to be able to reconcile it and say, okay, I was not in the wrong. It's not because of my fault. It's not because of his fault. So it makes it easier for you to even heal. See what I'm talking about? Why? Because you humanized it. You humanized the interaction. Had you not humanized it, you'd be stuck in the truth of, oh, my parent did this to me. Yeah? Now, that's a method that you should apply to every human interaction. Understand that the people you're dealing with in your life, before they are anything to you, they're humans first. You get what I'm saying? So that is step number one. Step number two, now is when you start treating men as men and women as women. Now I need you to understand, before your parents were your parents, before your friends were your friends, they were humans first. And them being human is the first nature to them. The second nature to them is the gender they are, or the sex, male or female. Yeah? And that has its nature too. Men have their nature, women have their nature. Now, this is the issue that has brought a lot of contention, especially in modern day intersexual dynamics, because it seems like we're having gender wars left, right, and center. Be it at home, be it even on the internet, be it even with the friend groups, be it with every simple interaction. There's always that aspect of men are this, men are this, women are this, women are that. It's crazy. Yeah? But I need you to understand this step and approach to treating people. Now, on top of people having a human nature, there's another nature added to them, and that nature is going to be given by their gender. If a person is a man, there's something we call masculinity, or the masculine nature. If someone is a lady or a female, then there's something we call the feminine nature. Now, these natures, they show themselves in different ways. Yeah? And you need to be cognizant of each of these natures, because you're going to be having people of different genders, playing different roles in your life. You're going to have your mom, who's a female, your dad, who's a male. You're going to be having, maybe in one instance you have a male boss, in another instant you're going to be having a female boss, in one instant maybe you're going to be having a whole lot of male friends or a whole lot of female friends. You don't approach them the same way, and the reason you don't do that is because they are of different genders, and these genders play a big role into who they are and to how they relate with you. Now, bearing that in mind, it will make it easier for you to have empathy for the other gender, because the moment you're a man and you understand how women are, or you understand female nature, it makes you more forgiving to the things that are being so toxified in the modern day world. You'll stop judging women harshly for being hypergamous and choosing themselves first, and you'll understand, oh my goodness, this is something that is natural to them. They were created that way because they're the ones who are going to be carrying the babies, and they're the ones who are going to be, the general nurturers of the family unit. So it only makes sense that they would choose themselves and their interest above everyone else, because now that means they need the best man possible out there. They need the best outcome for themselves and their offspring. So that means if a woman leaves you for a man who's doing far much better, you're not going to be so much offended. More like you're going to look into it and see, okay, it's part of female nature. Yeah? You're going to stop judging them too harshly. And then it's also going to make it easier for the ladies, for the things they like calling us, oh, this man has toxic masculinity. You're going to start, as a woman, you're going to start noticing that masculinity is not toxic. Yeah? That men are natural born solution givers, which is why when you come with a problem to them, they're not going to be sitting there relating to you emotionally. They're going to be offering solutions left, right, and center. Just what if you do this, what if you do that, what do you do? If you ask a question, or if you're in the wrong, they're going to be giving you an explanation. And instead of seeing that as mansplaining, you're going to understand, okay, men are natural born solution givers. So you're not going to judge the man harshly for just being a man. Know what I'm saying? And this goes for every single man in your life, or every single woman in your life, be it from your mother to your wife, your sisters, your female friends, your female co-workers, your female bosses, or your dad, your brothers, your husband, male bosses, male co-workers, male colleagues, whatever it is. The moment you understand how these dynamics, the human nature and the nature that is assigned to them based off of their gender, The moment you reconcile these two things and you understand in your head that before your parent was your parent, they were number one, a human first, then number two, a male or a female, right? And that's before they are anything to you. And the moment you start applying that lens to judging every human interaction, you realize you make the best out of human interaction, and you kind of have a higher understanding that also lowers your threshold for pain because you understand so much more. And you know and you understand a lot of the many wrongdoings that would happen in the emotional spectrum, and you have the knowledge to reconcile them, which makes it easier for you to heal from any trauma, for you to heal from any negative interaction, and for you to even notice that, hey, they are not doing this because they're against me. They're not doing this because they hate me. They're not doing this because they're evil or wicked or anything. It's just that it's part of human and male nature for men to do that. It's part of human and female nature for them to do that. It's just that. Yeah. Now, disclaimer, you should not apply the second method if you're someone who has trauma. If you have any trauma associated with any gender, please, for the love of God, do not use that trauma to judge the other gender. Instead, what you should do is heal first. The metrics I'm using for judging the male and female nature here are objective and scientifically proven, not emotionally associated traumas. So use logic when doing this. That being said, have a nice time. I'll see you in the next one.